Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here and welcome to the morning show. Today is the 27th of July 2022 and we are going to look at all the action that's going to happen today. So let's get started. This week had a very busy calendar. And we're looking at a segment today, and it's a very eventful day for us because at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, analysts expect the central bank to announce a hefty 75 basis point rate hike for the second time this summer. That's the expectation. And then the market investors and Americans will all be watching to hear what the Fed chairman has to say when he does the press conference, because there'll be questions that will add further color to what the Fed is thinking. And that can again move markets. So I have come across a bit of information that I wanted to share with you. It seems that the Fed's favorite recession signal is flashing a warning even before the central bank makes its Wednesday rate hike decision. And the warning is that of impending recession. The markets look at the difference between the current rate on the 3-month Treasury bill and the expectation for it in 18 months. This is called as the spread. And the spread has been has been seeing the largest drop monthly in history so far. And this is a recession signal. So I'm thinking that instead of going for a 75 basis point hike, there's a good chance that the Fed might do a 50 basis point hike. We also had to look at other data points, like the oil prices have been weaker for quite a while. That's definitely would have fed into the economy and the prices. And also there is a lot of weak economic data that shows recession possibilities are higher at this point of time. Today we'll also see, apart from this, some corporate reports. We have Q2 reports from Meta and Boeing, which are the two main things that I'm looking for. And yesterday we saw Google, Microsoft and UPS. And as I mentioned earlier, as I suspected, they fared better than the market feared. And therefore, even though their reports were not as great, but it was better than the worst fears of the market. And I'm expecting them to bounce back today. Google already bounced back yesterday itself. So there seems to be another activity that is happening which may have negative consequences for inflation. There are some countries who are hoarding LNG, and there is also a fear that the climate change related measures that have been taken so far are going to be taking a step back. We already saw that when Germany started using coal as an interim measure, but there are going to be a lot of developing countries and third world countries which will have to be forced to go back to using more of coal in order to get energy, because LNG is being hoarded by countries like Japan and South Korea, because they are afraid that the European push to buy LNG is going to corner all the LNG in the market, and that is pushing the price of liquefied natural gas, LNG. So that's something that we need to watch going forward. With that said, let's look at the pre-market action and see what's happening out there. Has Microsoft recovered? How UPS is doing? We'll check those things and then look at the price action that's happening pre-market. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to the TradingView platform. Let's start off first with looking at what's happening with Google. Google has bounced back today already. It has gained everything that it lost yesterday plus more. It's up 3.08% pre-market. So that's a good sign. If you look at Microsoft has also gained more than it lost yesterday, and it's jumping back up to 3.26%. So these are really good signs. Let us go and look at UPS, which reported yesterday, and see what is happening with UPS. As you can see, UPS is marginally gained 0.36. It has still got to recover most of what it lost yesterday. But overall, there seems to be a recognition that there was overreaction yesterday, being excessively pessimistic. They have gone positive. It could also be that there are some people who are expecting Fed to do a 50 basis point hike rather than 75 basis point hike. It could be any of those things, but I would take the positive any day. So let's go and have a look at the futures. That's the way we generally start our sessions. So in futures, if you look at Nasdaq futures, it's up 1.35%, still nicely tracking over this diagonal line of support, which is the bullish channel. So we have clearly got out of the bearish channel and we are consolidated and moved upwards in the bullish channel. So our consolidation happened out here when we were not able to break past 12,175, and then we broke past it and went out. So I think we are on a firm bull track. MACD is bullish. The only concern for me is the momentum. But if we go to the start of the day and look at all the key players in the index, I think that the momentum is going to pick up again, and will continue to be in the bullish channel, unless there is some surprise from Fed, maybe a 1 basis point hike instead of 75 basis point, then that would be a negative, and a 50 basis point hike instead of a 75 would be an absolute positive. So I think 75 basis point is already baked in. Then we'll look at the results as well as anything else that the Fed chief says during the press conference at 2:30. So with that said, I'd like to go and have a look at the indicators. And in the indicators, let's start off with US oil. US oil is consolidating. It's managing to stay above 95.08, which has been the support. Briefly, it had pierced below this line, but it's firmly above it at this point of time. MACD is still bearish, so I'm hopeful that we'll continue to see a downward fall in oil prices. We also have below average momentum, so that's also good. So I personally believe that we are going to hit this red line and then fall down. That is the worst case scenario. And the best case scenario is somewhere today after the Fed's press conference. We should probably see a move downwards. So let us hope for the best. And let us go to QQQ. QQQ is up 1.42% pre-market. And yesterday we were hanging just above 292.96 at close. So today we are clearly above that, and we are trying to regain the 20-day exponential moving average as a support along with the 9-day exponential moving average, because we are somewhere out here just above the 9-day exponential moving average and this minor line of resistance. So I'm hoping that this being a very strong support, I'm hoping that we are going to jump above that, and our resistance is going to be 306.53 for today. S&P 500 was down 1.18% yesterday. Today it's already up 0.88%, and we are above the minor line of support again, which is again strong because it has got the support of the 20-day exponential moving average as well. So overall, I think we are looking good for S&P 500 also. The only concern I have is that the momentum is dropping. So I would be worried about that. But pre-market 0.88 gain gives me hope that we are going to at least open bullish. Russell's index is again having the same problem with the momentum, which is pointing downwards, but we are still above average in the momentum. So I'm happy with that. And also I'm happy with the fact that pre-market we are up 0.54%. So that shows a bullish open. It's around 7:45 a.m. in the morning. Anything can happen in the next 1.5 hours. But I would go with the bullish option at this point of time, because I think that the Google and Microsoft earnings were pretty decent given the market environment. And that should again lead to a little bit of strength in the market. Pre-market, we are at 180.29, which is well above the 50-day and the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving averages. So we are looking overall pretty good. We have a lot of support to hold us up when it comes to Russell Index. In Dow Jones Industrial Average, we are up 0.47% before the market open. MACD is bullish. Momentum again is a suspect out here. Hopefully the momentum turns around today. Then we'll be in a better situation. We still have a nice bull channel which is giving us support, and we are way far away from it. And also we are just below the 50-day exponential moving average as of yesterday's close. But if you look at today pre-market, we are at 319, which is well above the 50-day exponential moving average of 317.77. So I can safely say that even the 50-day exponential moving average has become a support for us pre-market. But pre-market is generally on lower volume, so you can't depend on it 100%. But I think that overall the opening at least is likely to be green. Then we look at the VIX. The VIX is still at the support line, which is at 24.28, and the VIX is at 24.35. It's just slightly above the support. So if it manages to break down below the support, then we'll have the 9-day exponential moving average providing a support before we fall down to 22.73. I'd look forward to VIX falling down further so that we can get into more normal market. But whether it will happen or not is a tricky question. It all depends on what the Fed has to do today. The Fed acknowledges that there is a recession around the corner and they're going to slow down on the interest rate hikes. I bet things will look much better. They can still continue tightening their bond purchases and removing liquidity from the market without touching the interest rates. So those options are still open for the Fed. They may consider that. So let's hope for the best. Put call ratio ended yesterday at 1.005, almost neutral. So there is a bit of indecision out there. And if you look at XLY by XLP, that shows that we are in a risk-off situation. So our genomics and other shares are likely to have a bit of headwinds out there. US dollar index continues to move down, and it's being pushed down by the 9-day exponential moving average, but it has been consolidating. When consolidation happens on a downward trend, then we always move downwards as per the technicals. But if there is something different in the market, like a interest rate hike by the Fed, which is around 75 basis point or above, we'll see a spike back in the US dollar index. So for context, we can also look at other indices. Give me a second when I go into our currency indices out here. If you look at USD Europe, as Euro increases its interest rates, Euro will become stronger and attract some funds towards it. And when the Euro becomes strong, funds will move out of the US dollar index and give it a little bit of a weakness. Same thing with the US dollar GBP. When a British pound, when Britain increases its interest rates, there will be a movement towards British pounds because the funds will flow from US dollar index to the British pound. So those kind of things will happen. So as those other countries keep on increasing their interest rate, funds will move away from here. But right now, the newsmaker is the Fed. So when the Fed increases the interest rate, we should expect some amount of funds to flow from all these other currency indices into US dollar index. And that's going to make the US dollar index go up. So that's going to happen when the Fed announces their interest rate hike today at around 2:30, and we'll see what happens at that time. But I'm expecting US dollar index to pick up post the announcement from the Fed. With that said, I'd like to go and have a look at what's happening with the genomics index that we have out here pre-market. So IMTX was the biggest gainer yesterday, and again it's got no trades today, and it's totally bullish. So any amount of drop in price is anticipated because we are beyond overbought. Stocks can't stay beyond overbought for a long time, so it has got to moderate, either go flat or go down before it picks up again. Caribou Biosciences is up 3.06%, and there are no pre-market trades at this point of time. And we have this diagonal line of support which is still holding on. We also have support from the 9-day, 20-day exponential moving average, and we ended up there. So we should hope that given the MACD is bullish and the momentum is also pointed upwards and above average, we should continue a positive momentum for Caribou Biosciences. Vertex was up 1.6% yesterday and gained the support of the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. In my books, that was a positive move, but the MACD is bearish and the momentum is picking up. So I think because of the momentum, I would say that we'll have a positive momentum for Vertex today. There are no pre-market trades, and Pfizer has got a pre-market trade which shows a gain of 0.08%. And Pfizer is still above the diagonal line of support and well within the bullish channel, and it's trying to negotiate this resistance at 52.48, and pre-market it's already at 52.34. So it needs to push up a little bit, and by the looks of the MACD and the momentum, it seems that it would be able to do that. And we have the earnings and dividends coming on the 28th. So that will also be another positive catalyst. Of course, dividend would not be a catalyst at this point of time because it would have already been the catalyst for these two moves that we are seeing here, because you have to be on the book of records before you get the dividend, and that takes at least 2 days. So I would assume that the last two candles were in response to the dividend, and then we have to see what happens with the earnings. Then let's go on to Novartis. I'm going to skip Novartis because we focus more on our new genomic shares. These Novartis and Pfizer and all are very established shares. So let's look at CRISPR. CRISPR Therapeutics gained 0.81 yesterday. Pre-market, there are no trades today, but we are still on a strong bullish channel out here. We have this resistance line with the red resistance line, which has prevented us from going up before. And we also have this horizontal resistance here at 79.51. So we have to break the 79.51. We have to break the 9-day exponential moving average before making any further progress. The MACD is bearish and the momentum gives me some hope because it's above average and pushing up. So I think CRISPR will also have a bit of positives today. Beam was up 0.27% yesterday. Very, very steep bullish move. It's moving away from the earlier bullish channel that we have had here. So I think it is a bit unsustainable. And also, as you can see in the momentum department, we are overbought. So there has got to be some cooling. And that cooling will see a bit of consolidation or a bit of a drop. And we still have the support of this diagonal line of support, this diagonal green line. So I'm very comfortable that Beam will continue to do well. Pre-market, it's already up 0.11%. Illumina was down yesterday, minus 0.11%. And today, pre-market, it's gained everything and it's gone up 0.75%. And it's still above the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. So I'm happy about that. MACD is also bullish and momentum is above average. We just need it to pick up, and I think it will pick up based on the pre-market action out here. Intel was up 0.18, was down 0.18% yesterday, and pre-market we don't have any trades. We still have this diagonal line of support. I'm hoping it will hold, but the MACD is looking bearish, and the momentum is above average but flat. So we need the momentum to pick up. The fact that it's above average gives me the confidence that it's going to pick up during the day, assuming that there is no negative stimulus from the Fed speak. IDNA was down minus 0.34% yesterday, and today we don't have any trades. It is straddling this support out here, this diagonal line of support. As you can see here, it was a doji candle yesterday. It was a doji candle day before as well, and we are just on top of this support. The next support for us is the 20-day exponential moving average, and the MACD is bearish and momentum is above average but flat. So I don't know what's going to happen with IDNA today. Also, it will be influenced by the Fed speak that happens today. Allogene, which was very, very strongly bullish, has shown a bit of weakness yesterday, coming down minus 0.51%. Today, pre-market, there are no trades. MACD is still bullish and momentum is still above average. So I'm hoping that it will continue to stay above the 9-day and the 20-day, 200-day exponential moving averages. Allogene looks very strong on the charts though. And if you look at Editas, it's down minus 0.67% as of yesterday. A perfect doji candle, which is supported by the 9-day and the 100-day exponential moving average. A lot of indecision yesterday, but today everything is decisive. We are up 3.14% pre-market. As you can see here, we are at 16.75. So that looks good to me. So more positives for Editas going forward. Regeneron is down minus 0.8%. I don't generally discuss Regeneron. It's an established company. ArcG was down minus 1.01%, and pre-market we don't have any trades. And as you can see, there was a lot of indecision yesterday, but it managed to stay above the diagonal line of support. I'm hoping that today it would continue to stay above. Its MACD is already bearish, but the momentum is still above average. So that's where I have my hopes on that. SQZ is not at all doing well. I'm going to skip that. It's looking very weak on the charts. PACB is down minus 2.06%, and it's got back into the channel of consolidation. I'm going to mark this horizontal line as a resistance, and it's below all the exponential moving average. It's looking very weak indeed, and our MACD is bullish and the momentum is also below average. However, a ray of hope is that pre-market it's already up 3.04%. So anyone who is holding PACB can quickly look at the call premiums and see if you can book any positive calls out here. Bluebird is down minus 2.18% as of yesterday, and has fallen below this diagonal line of support and also the horizontal line of support. Bluebird is looking pretty weak, and we are looking forward to earnings coming on the 4th of August. I'm working on Q2 earnings report for Bluebird. I'll have the estimates published shortly. I'm running a little bit behind schedule, but I'll get it to you before time. Bluebird is looking very weak on the charts. Verve is up, was down minus 4.26% yesterday, and pre-market there are no trades. It's still on a bullish channel, so I'm hopeful, but it has converted this horizontal line of support at 28.51 into a resistance, and it's also converted the 200-day exponential moving average into a resistance along with the 9-day exponential moving average. So there is a whole lot of weakness for Verve. I don't know why that is happening. We were in a very good spirits before that. Maybe the overbought condition has been oversold. So we might probably see a bounce back today. Let's hope for the best. But everything that I have said for genomics is going to depend on what Fed chief says at around 2 o'clock and 2:30. So please keep focus on that. With that said, I would like to bring this video to an end. I hope you enjoyed this session. We do have a live stream every evening at around 3:30. Slowly there are more people joining us. I would invite you to join us at the live stream at 3:30 if you have the time, so that we can see the market close. And also we do a quick technical analysis on all our genomic stocks and the indices with an idea of predicting what will happen the next day. And I also take some question and answer sessions out there. So please join. It's a very interesting communication between the community members also. So looking forward to see you there at 3:30. And if you like this video, please press a like out there. And if you're not yet subscribed, why not? It's absolutely free. Please subscribe and help us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.